Start.
What's the importance of this?
It is to prevent in case the secondary lock ijashika. So this one inasaidia upepo isifungue wakati unakimbia.
What do you call this?
Which one?
Hii part.
The primary lock. So nini unaona hapa?
Bonnet safi. Mtu anaosha bonnet.
Sinaoshwa.
Hii ni safi sana.
So you are wewe mwenyewe, si nikwambia gari ni maintenance.
Like,
Gari sio kuendesha.
unaipeleka kwa
No, I do it by myself. Utapeleka car wash mtu maybe ajui ni wapi inafaa yake maji, wapi ajui.
kumwagia maji kwa beti.
Unaweza mwaga maji kwa computer box, hiyo gari ikufa. Sawa. So if it is the bonnet area, you do it by yourself. Sawa. Juu kama kitu kama alternator haitaki maji.
Alternator is which one?
Wachana nayo. Sawa. So once you have opened there, you're supposed to check the following. So we have the coolant system. So the coolant system, we have the radiator, then you have the fan. Also. So those, they don't cool the engine. They just store the agent of cooling the engine. Umeelewa? The radiator haiwezi poesha engine. Kazi yake it is to store the agent that cools the engine. The agent, it is coolant water, and then you have the wind. So those are the agents. So the wind is used to cool the hot water from the engine. Ikisaidiwa na direct wind from front. So the fan ikigenerate na hiyo inalete, so unapata the radiator is bad conductor of heat. Ile material ukichoma, ukitoka moto ukiguza ishapoa. So ndio unapata ikipata upepo kidogo it regulates the temperature very fast. Sawa. So this is the coolant system. So we have the radiator starting here. This is the radiator inakuja paka huko. Ndio iko connected na fan. So there is a fan. This fan, it is automatically turn on and off. So when the temperature it is more here, inajiwasha. Temperature ikipoa inajizima. So ina keep on off. Sasa tukirun haita run. Paka vile ita detect there is a hot water, ndio itajiwasha. Ikipoesha hiyo maji inajizima. Sawa. So the coolant is always joining this hose pipe, inaingia kwa combustion chamber. So that we have that hose pipe here chini. The hose pipe, it is connected to the water pump. So the water pump iko na belt yenye imeconnectiwa kwa the pulley, so that when the engine is running, is rotating the belt. So the belt is helping the pump to run, so that can suck water into the combustion chamber. So hiyo maji itapita tu kwa combustion chamber na irudie hapo tena ikiwa very hot. So inaingia huko ikiwa baridi na rudi huko ikiwa very hot. Sawa? Yeah, inajiregulate yenyewe. Yeah. So the rotation of the water, so the hot water inakuwa juu, the cold one inaenda chini, inaingia kwa engine. So the hot water ikikuliwa inateremka. So ita keep that rotation like that. Sawa? Yes. So when using the radiator, you are not allowed to open when the engine is hot. Sawa? Kama sasa hivi ile tumerani engine hatutafungua pale.
Talipuka.
Tutachomeka. Sawa? So utaungua. Don't open there when the engine is hot. You will see fire. So there is a high steam there. When you open, hiyo maji inatoka na a lot of pressure. So inakuja juu na high pressure itakuchoma. Another caution, if you are using ordinary water, don't use the salty or the soapy or the dirty water ile unachota kwa mitaro huko unaweka hapo. Sawa? If it is ordinary water, ikuwe very clean and soft. Sawa. Don't open that area if you are not sure. So hapo in case there is a need of opening, maybe umeona temperature imepanda. So utatafuta kitambaa baridi, uweke hapo juu, then unaifungua pole pole to release pressure. Very slow.
How do you open it? How do you open that?
Anti-clockwise.
Anti-clockwise. This way?
Yes. You open anti-clockwise pole pole. Sawa. Until the pressure ishe. Kama uta found there is a lack of water, usizime engine. Sawa. Hata kama temperature iko juu. If you turn off the engine, you will buy the whole system. Because of contraction, because it is hot na ime lack coolant. So it contract paka hizo hose pipe. Because the pressure outside it is more than the pressure inside. So it pull the radiator together. So itabidi ungoe yote. So ukifound there is a lack of water or the coolant water, utatafuta maji, you top up kama still hot, na utop up ukiweka uso mbali. Unamwaga unasonga mbali because inarudisha the same water. So unamwaga unasonga mpaka vile itasaka hiyo maji. Na wakati itaweka ikikuonyesha imejaa, ijaja. Sawa? You wait. So uta turn off the engine because isha regulate. Hiyo maji sasa itashuka. Ikishashuka you continue topping mpaka ijaze the standard liters which is 5 liters. Kama ni gari ndogo kama hii. If you are having the vehicle with the 10 liters, you make sure imesuck 10 liters yote. Usiweke lita moja uone imejaa uone haiko sawa. Bado. Because the pressure bado inairudisha. So
utajuaje imejaa? Utajuaje imejaa? Itanyamaza.
Utaiona tu inaona pia hapo juu inamwagika ina overflow. Ukiona ina overflow you know it is okay. Okay. So that is the thing. So if you see temperature raise, the problem iko hapa. Sawa. The way you see the temperature gauge, si mnajua vile inafanana?
No.
The temperature gauge.
I don't know.
You don't know how it look like?
Yes.
Na mko nayo class mnaionanga daily. Hata mjai soma. Mwalimu amai soma kweli? The symbols of dashboard. Wamai soma? Hata waangaliangi. Ziko. Ati ziko sikia? Nasikia wewe anauliza ziko. Ziko introduction. So those symbols they are very important. If you see any mechanical light on your dashboard, there is an information from that light. If you ignore the information, utaona the result. So I think we are done with the coolant system. So we have said the coolant system, it is the radiator and fan, then the coolant agent, it is the coolant water and the wind. So if the system it will be okay, but lacking of coolant agent, haitafanya kazi. So we have the engine here, which is a power generating machine. So this is where the power it is generated. So when you are driving the engine, make sure you have an engine oil. If you drive this vehicle without an engine oil, prepare for a new engine because it will knock. When the engine knocks, there is no repair. You buy another one. So you make sure you have enough lubricant so that you can drive safely. Because there is a high temperature inside here because of combustion of fuel, and there is a movement of shaft and piston. So if they move that fast without lubrication, so the friction will be high. So your engine itakufa. So you check with using this one. Hii ni dipstick. These are dipstick. Wasichana tupatieni hiyo nini? Yenye mnatembeanga na. Mnajua wacha kusema ati nini hiyo. Lete. Correct. Karibu tuwafikirie vibaya lakini mmejitetea. So these are dipstick, eh? The dipstick iko na scale, eh? Sawa. Kila mtu anaona scale. Do you see a scale? Upendushe huko. Hata huko iko. Si unaona bado iko.
Oh, this one, eh?
Sawa. That shaded part. That is the scale. So make sure the engine oil is supposed to be to the maximum level, not to the full. Equal to the maximum level. Maximum ni hapa. Minimum ni hapa. So ikiwa minimum, unajua hiyo gari kunoko engine in any time. Sawa?
Yes.
So before you top up the engine oil, you check the cause kwanza. Check ni nini ilifanya hiyo oil ikapunguka. Iko na leakage ama imemaliza rings, ina consume a lot of oil. Sawa? Before ufanye top up. Because ukifanya top up kama hujaangalia problem, you are wasting your time. Sawa? So wakati umeiclean hivyo, unaidip tena. Alafu unaitoa. Ukitoa uangalie ikiwa hivi. Sawa? Ama like this. Hiyo oil ni mpya, so you cannot read it very well. Mpaka ukue close. Sawa? Unaona imefika hapa? Eh? So haifai ifike hapo. Sasa imefika hapo because engine imerun, eh? So you are allowed to check the oil when the engine is very cold. Sawa. Usiangalie kama you have run the engine.
Is it me?
Yes.
Sasa unarun engine, oil inaenda.
Ina circulate.
Sasa unarun, oil inarudi.
So wakati una run engine inatoka kwa panel. Inaanza ku move to the moving parts, eh? Ndio maana when you are devised, when you start the engine, you leave it for 5 to 10 minutes. It run. You don't start the engine and then you start moving. You start the engine, then you leave it for 5 to 10 minutes. So circulation of the oil will complete, so that you can start the job. Sawa. To make your engine healthy. Ini ukitoa tu gari umegurumisha na kutoka, it is too bad. Then also when checking the oil, make sure your vehicle iko on a flat surface so that you can get the accuracy. Lakini kama imeinama hautapata readings kamili. Also when the engine kama imerani hautapata readings, your oil imepanda. Lakini ikisettle inarudi yote kwa panel, so you can get the proper amount. So this is the dipstick. Usiangalie hivi, unaangalia hivi or this way. Sawa. So if you see this simple on your dashboard, aka kitu kanakaa kama ka basin, jua una oil. Sawa. Yes. Hivi usi yako kakitu kako in a red form. So anakuambia sasa una oil. So you work on it. Sawa. Yes. So we have the braking system area. So we have this brake fluid reserve. This one, it is the one helping you to increase the compression to the brake pads so that you can stop. So when you lack the compression, there is no stopping. So you prepare for hiyo nyumba ingine. So you make sure you inspect your braking reserve. So if you lack the brake fluid reserve, you know the danger of stopping iko. So this fluid must be to the maximum level but not to the full to allow expansion. So naona hata kitu ameweka kako loose for breathing, to release the pressure. So you don't put to the full, put to the maximum. So this is the maximum, the minimum ni hapa. So we have the minimum level, maximum. So wakati itafika minimum, itawasha hii symbol kwa dashboard. You see this symbol? Itawasha kwa dashboard. So when this symbol inakuwa alert, you have problem with your brakes. Either brake pads or the brake fluid. So when there is a maybe braking problem, if you have the enough brake fluid, maybe the braking problem can be to the master cylinder. Master cylinder ni ile kasahani mnaona huko ndani. Sawa. Huko ndio sasa pressure inakuwa inareactiwa na huko ndani. So once the pressure reacted to that part, inakuwa supplied to the pipes, so inakuja kwa braking caliper, mahali kuna brake pads, ndio ina pull the brake pads together, then ina hold the disc. There's a moving disc in between. Kiangalia huko, si mlifungua wheel? Mlifungua which wheel? My friend, which one? The rear one. So ya nyuma iko na drum, ya nyuma inatumia handbrake. So, so the braking system iko mbele. Rear part, it is the handbrake system. So so once you apply the brakes to these small cars, mostly zote zimewekwa brake mbele, most of them, but kuna zenye ziko na both. Sawa.
Okay.
Yes. Kama mumai yaona ile Axela Mazda ile yenye mumai andesha hiyo.